seconds. Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you a simple way to work on speech sounds at home. As I always say, this is not to replace outpatient or school-based speech therapy services. This is in addition to make it easier for you to work on them at home. The sound we're focusing on today is T. So the T, the letter T, that tongue is right behind the top teeth. T. It's a quick hit. And that's what we're going to work on. Oftentimes, this sound might be turned into a D, so they're turning on their voice, like do for two, or it's just totally deleted at the end of a word. Like instead of eat, they just say E, or ba for bat. So if you're working on this, that's how we practice, just making sure they can do that sound in isolation first. T, 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 t. And then we might put it into a syllable like ta, 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 or T, 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 T. Or you're going to see that at the end of the word, like eat, eat, eat. And then you're going to have your target list of words that hopefully you're going to have your kiddo say like 10 times a word. Bring it into a game, an activity, a craft, whatever makes it easier for you to work on with them. And if it's in your car and they're in the back seat, totally fine. Any practice is better than no practice, as long as you're attentive and focused, phones down, and you're paying attention to your child. Lastly, if you're working in a phrase or in a sentence level, it could be something like I see bat, or it could be I see two. But again, you're going to put that phrase or sentence in front that hopefully your speech therapist sent home for you with your home programming. Remember, short and fun practice is best, no more than 5 minutes a day, and it really does go a long way. Celebrate, be positive, and please be present so that if you hear those substitutions or that sound deleted, you are right there to help them and coach them through getting that sound back or bumping all the way back to isolation level and just practicing that sound again. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more quick tips and tricks and videos on speech sounds.